I'm here with the legendary Michael Brooks, my dear friend. I've been talking about solidarity with all the candidates here. Can you talk about the importance of that with the Sanders campaign?
Well, I mean, I think that the Sanders campaign to me stands out. Like, as I always say, first of all, it's awesome to be getting interviewed by you.
I know, for once, yeah.
It's the global dimension to me. You know, like there's just that word solidarity extending out in the biggest possible sense of the word. There was this Politico report recently that left leaders across the globe are excited about him. He's called for freeing Lula. He's talked about Kashmir. And obviously, in addition to the clarity on domestic policy, it just stands out.
Yeah, I mean, and the domestic policy is clear, but his foreign policy, and that's a part of what you focus on so much on your show, is such a huge cornerstone of his campaign. Do you feel like it's finally breaking through with more average voters that kind of stuff matters?
I mean, I think it is to some extent, and I think it really is breaking through with people that, you know, take the process seriously and think about it, that they can't just keep siloing it off like, oh, that's okay, we can support whatever policies we want in Israel, we can ignore Latin America, just so long as we do some things at home, both because it's like the right thing to do in terms of thinking internationally, but also the fact that we literally are an interdependent world. That's not just like an annoying cliche, right? So like, you know, when Hillary Clinton backs a coup in Honduras or an invasion of Libya, that helps set the context of where we are today in terms of the rise of the far right, xenophobia, migration patterns, and everything else. And so when you look at the way he talks about it, and even his Green New Deal, you see some steps forward in terms of solidarity, which no one else has on the table. You know, Tulsi has her, she'll get to the right position sometimes, but her fundamental worldview is isolationist trash, and I welcome the comments. And Elizabeth Warren, she doesn't have it. It's not her worldview. It's not her politics. And recently, you know, her comments on the Middle East just really reinforced that, just in terms of like a basic lack of historical awareness.
It's definitely not her politics. It's just, I feel like it's almost like she doesn't care in that sense.
I definitely get that feeling too, and I have to say that's a much more devastating thing.
You don't care, right?
Say. Right. I mean, no, honestly, because you're someone I think who's more. I mean, look, I don't hate Warren at all, but I think, you know, I'm probably more on the skeptic side of her, and I think.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah. People seem to be able to figure that out. But you know, the fact that you would, I think it does. She doesn't care. I think that comes across.
Yes, for sure. And lastly, really, when we're looking at the just political machinations of Ocasio-Cortez, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib endorsing, it kind of seemed like he was down and out. Like we were not happy with the kind of flatline 14% national average. What do you think this means for politically for him in terms of polling and winning maybe Iowa potentially?
I mean, I think he's back. I think that he is a serious contender, obviously. And I think it reminded everybody that, like, he can actually win, and this is a very unique opportunity. There's no one else in modern politics with this kind of agenda who's a front-running candidate. I think in terms of the importance of the endorsements, obviously it's huge momentum for him, but I think it's very important for them. I think it's really showing that they are committed to a set of politics and a movement and a bigger picture.
And the fact that they were born of the movement and then are endorsing him again, it's like this kind of beautiful full circle thing. Probably appeals to your hippy-dippy sensibilities.
In a very deep way. Yeah. I burned some sage when I found out.
Yeah, white sage.
Right.
The endangered kind, because we're good white liberals.
Right. Exactly. I got some good.
We're not leaving it for the ceremonial aspects.
Oh, no, God, no.
It's for us Whole Foods shoppers.
That's right. We fly to Peru and Ecuador directly so we can strip it out of the ground so we feel the connection.
Yes. Spirituality.
Spirituality. It's good, folks.
Thanks so much, Michael.
You're the best.
Yeah, you're the best.